All right, guys, welcome to Nothing is OB South Texas Golf Podcast, episode 115. Now, tonight's show should be pretty interesting. I got some usual suspects on the show tonight. I have my boy Freddy Garcia on, and my favorite Chim Pokemon dealer. All right, he's got all your Pokemon needs, Mike Ostman. All right, we're going to bring him on to the show here in just a bit. All right, so first off, I'd like to say a special thank you to our sponsor right here for today's show, El Cameo Golf Classic. A South Texas ranch called El Cameo is hosting its first annual golf classic to be held at the beautiful Almost Basin Golf Course on November 11th. First and second place teams will receive a cash pot prize as well as other incentives. It's a two-man scramble, all right? So a good time will be had. And I talked to the guy who's running everything, Noah, and it looks like it's going to be a banger. We're going to talk a little bit more about this tournament and a couple of tournaments that I have really close to my heart here later on the show. It's a two-man scramble. $250 per team, includes greeting fee, card fee, 2 drinks of your choice, lunch meal, gift card, pro shops to Edwin Watts, longest drive contest, putting contest, more. Reach out for details on Instagram at El Cameo Ranch. That's El Cameo Ranch. You can call text at 361-815-2303 or email at elcameoranch@yahoo.com. All right, let's go ahead and bring on my dudes right here. Let's see right here. Remember, guys, I'm 43 years old. I produce and run this show on my own. Good night, guys. Good night, guys. How are we doing?
What's up? What's up?
How's it
Glad to
going?
be back.
Well, you know what? We had so many reviews, so many like rave reviews in regards to the Chaparro, which is you, Freddy,
Yes, sir.
and Pokemon. What, Mike? Okay, all right. Favorite low key Pokemon character?
Oh, it's got to be Snorlax because he's kind of fat. He's always sleeping.
But
It's
that's
kind of just like me.
Isn't that the card that like everybody gets in like the pack, right? Like, so I see like I always take a lot of cards away from the kids there at school, and it seems like he's always the one that like it's like a very common card.
Well, I didn't know I was going to talk about this, but there was just a new expansion that was just released. Earlier today, and that's that
stop.
one. They have a promo that comes in every pack. So yeah.
Hey, you're my resident Pokemon expert, bro. So you know what? I gotta pick your brain. You know.
Yeah, I'm here for the culture, as they say in the Pokemon community.
Is that what it is?
That's what it
Okay,
is.
so
Yeah.
all right, so again, getting off topic here. Did you get into the whole like Pokemon Go phase?
Man, so I was actually in Hawaii. That was like 2015-ish, 14-ish, somewhere in there, and it was this huge thing because I mean, there's a lot of Asian people. Pokemon, it was created over in Japan way back in the 90s, and it was just a huge thing, and it was just a great thing to just get out and get some exercise out there. And so yeah, like for a while there, I played Pokemon Go all the time. It was just a way for me to try to motivate myself because I'm fairly lazy to just get out and just get some exercise. So for a while there, I did it.
Freddie, did you ever get caught up into the Pokemon Go craze?
Nah, I never did. I like all those things were like not a thing of mine, man. I'm more on the sports side, so I just really stuck with sports.
Oh, he's saying Pokemon Go is not on the sports side.
I
It's
mean,
not,
just
it's
because I look like a kid doesn't mean I act like a kid.
Hey, it's just because we were talking about this off air. We were talking about our shoe size, and Freddie thinks he can hang with the big boys. Freddie, I wear a size 9. Like you are a 7.5.
You're
Yeah.
a size 9, and you're a size 9 with like 2 socks.
hey, but they're the foot joists. They're the foot joist socks, so they're real thick.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we got a great show tonight, guys. Hey, some of the biggest topics that we're going to discuss tonight is the YouTubers. You know, there's a lot of golf YouTubers out there, and Tiger recently made headlines when he said, you know what, don't YouTube shit or don't, watch that YouTube shit. Get out there and bang balls, right? But you know what? There's a lot of YouTube guys out there in regards to instruction, in regards to content. And you know what? It's free, right? A lot of it's free. So a lot of times, we're watching guys that just create content. So we're going to be talking about those guys, some tournaments that we got coming up here. One of the big issues going on right now is the rate increase. I know not only Alamo City Golf Trail, they just recently put out their rate increase starting in October. Don't you think that's kind of like bang bang? I mean, it came out in September, like mid-September, or on the latter side of September, and these rates increases like are already like coming up October 1st.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like
don't.
oh, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, well, I don't know if they go off, the fiscal calendar, and that starts 1 October.
See?
I don't remember when they did their rate increase last year or the year previous, so that could be why it's 1 October. That would be the only thing that I would see why it would start 1 October instead of 1 January. But I don't know.
See, that's why we have you on for the credit score. We're trying to get our credit score up.
That's that government life, and I'm a civil service for life.
There you
Civil
go.
servant for life, so I know all those things that nobody knows.
Freddie, what do you think?
No, like so I was taking a look at them, and like the one that really got me was the San Pedro. Man, that was a pretty big little change there.
$22 to play
Yeah,
Pedro.
yeah. Like I called my boy at Willow, and I kind of like threw him like the little paper they had sent out on the email, and he was like, hey, whoa, we just went up like $1 or $2. We didn't go up that much, but Willow, but San Pedro went up like I was like, man, for a par 3 9-hole, come on, man.
It's pricey, right? I think that's one thing
Mhm.
that's one thing that kind of amongst all the rate increases, I think that's one thing that kind of stood out the most. Don't get me wrong, Mike, Freddie, we all like to go. We all like to go to San Pedro. It's a great facility, practice facility. It's got it all. It's got great instructors there with the Joe Caruso Academy. You got they got Ben's shop out there. The best stick and glue guys in town, Ben and Alex. You got a great bar. The food is amazing. I'm living proof. I've gained like 15 pounds and it's down the street from my school. So when I go there, it ain't just for golf. It's for the food, right? The food's great there. They have a great general manager there, Javi Garcia. Course is nice. Range is kept up well. I mean, it checks all the boxes, right? It checks all the boxes, but $22 to play a par 3 course. I think how much did Randolph cost with cart today, Mike? Out at beautiful Randolph.
Yeah, I think we got. I mean, I'm a member out there, so I don't have to pay. But I think the people who are non-members, we got a reduced rate. It was somewhere like $25 or $30 for a twilight full round of golf at one of the best courses in the San Antonio area. I think. And I think the thing that kind of throws me for a loop when you look at San Pedro is what are they doing different now than they did last year to justify the rate increase? I know they extended the parking lot, which they needed to. I mean, there is no parking there anytime on the weekends towards the evening. And they've had some issues with their artificial turf that they put in, that their mats that they put in, and they're redoing all that and everything. But like,
let me stop you right there. For that is the second time they have put mats down.
Yeah.
That for a lot, they wasted. I feel like they took a hit when they put down the original artificial turf there, because I think if y'all guys remember, it wasn't level. It wasn't level like by far, and I think before previously they had like the big mats out there, and then they ran that strip, and I think that strip was the one. It wasn't level. It wasn't put in well. So they took a hit there. I know they took a hit there, and then they had to replace those mats. So I think that's one thing that kind of goes through that. I don't think people quite remember that whatever group they hired, whatever company they hired, they totally missed. They totally missed on that.
Yeah, and who am I to say? Maybe they got a refund or something back on that to so they could fix it, But I mean, when you look at the rate increase on there, it's like $3-4 more. Is it on par with? They always want to talk about inflation and we're doing this and we're doing that. Well, when you put $4 extra into San Pedro or whatever it is, that's like a 20% increase. You don't think it's it's only $4, but it was only $18 or $19 before, so it's kind of a larger jump for what it is. But I mean, you go there on a Wednesday night or any night, especially in the summer, and it's packed out there. So they got the people to pay it. The only other par 3 course that's lit like that is out in Helotes. So it's got that centralized location, and they got the players that need. So are people going to be upset about it? Yeah. Are they going to stop going? Probably not. Not as often. But they're still going to be there. That's the only lit range right down there in the middle of town. So.
Freddie, your thoughts, brother?
I totally agree with what Mike said. Like I said, like and what you said too is like not only do they have like the golf there, but again, you talked about the chipping green, the putting green, the bar and grill, the ambiance. You know what I mean? Like you're paying for that too, and it's like, hey man, like where can you? It's like Mike said, where can you go at 8 o'clock and go play half a round, have a place to drink, place to chill, and it's lighted. So I think like that's where they kind of say, well, hey, like this is what it is. It's one of those like we're kind of like the only ones in town, so where else you gonna go, kind of type of deal.
Yeah, and that makes sense, and I see that, and I do. Like, I mean, you have to cash out, right? I mean, you have, like I said, it checks all the boxes. You have some really good. I feel like you have some really good customer service there. You know, and I'm not just saying that because Javier Garcia there is a good buddy of mine, but I think he's a F&B guy, he's a food and beverage guy. Oh, uh-oh. You're creeping me out right here.
Sorry.
I'm getting some nun vibes over there, right, man? Some poltergeist stuff going on over there. And you know, man, we got a lot of comments right here because it kind of struck a nerve, and this is why I really wanted to talk to some guys who are hack golfers like myself. I mean, I don't claim to be an expert, but I do claim to be. And I mean, we belong to a predominant group here, which is a great sponsor of the show, FOREBROS Golf Tour. That, you know, we have like, it's a very diverse golf group. So we got a lot of guys that are members out at Fair Oaks. We got members that are out, you know, at the bases at Randolph, at Fort Sam. I mean, we got guys that work out at Oak Hills. I mean, so we have members like all over. We have members all over the city. And so I'm not going to say that I'm not trying to say that we are experts, but you know what? We're in the mix of things where, you know what, we are hack golfers that go out there. We're looking for deals. We're trying to play budget golf, you know, golf that catches our eye, golf, you know, we're out there to relieve some stress. And so, you know what, this is all important to us, you know, so rate increase is huge for us. But now San Pedro does have it's got, like you said, Freddie, you know, the ambiance. It's got a lot of stuff right here, and we got some great comments. I'm going to go ahead and bring them here. This is from Anthony Luna, and Anthony Luna is one of our four bros who lives in Dallas right now. He goes, not saying it justifies the increase, but in my opinion, San Pedro is probably the best par 3 course in the state. All right, now, okay, Anthony, now you say this, but I know you live in that Dallas DFW area. You need to check out the new PGA facility out there.
Frisco.
Out there in Frisco. That's kind of, you know, on the outskirts. I mean, it's in Frisco, but it's lit up. It's huge. It's like,
I don't know if that's going to be $20. So.
Yeah, no. That thing ain't going to be $20. But I think, you know, because Anthony's saying that it's the best par 3 course in the state, and I think that course might give it, you know, a rival of it. And right here we got Daniel. Daniel is an Alamo City Golf Trail member. He plays constantly. I know he's plays
a Longhorn too.
Yeah. No. Well, hey man, bro. Just because you went to was it Ostman Community College doesn't make you an honorary Longhorn. All right? It doesn't. I'm just fucking with you, Daniel. Even the bucket increased. Mac Wiley's 14 and military discount is 12 for a large bucket. You know, I mean, this is kind of this is one of the big debates as well, right? Is the bucket debate. It's you know what, are you getting bang for your buck? Should a bucket, I mean, like a large, like I think growing up is like a larger, it was always like $10, right? And then it became 12, and now it's 15, and now it's 16. It's when is it gonna stop, right? And then the quality of balls, somebody said that the other day, like the quality of balls isn't even up to par. But okay, so right here, let me go ahead and there you go. Living in right there. Here you go, Anthony. Living in the DFW right now. I wish there was something like San Pedro up here. Okay. Anything over $30 is expensive for Freddy. this. Okay.
I'm on a budget, bro.
Well, his wife hasn't. You're not on a budget, but your wife has you on a budget.
Oh, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right here, guys. Okay. So, and then I have right here a couple of earlier comments. Mike Ostman equals 10 Dos Equis deep. Let's hear his response. Is that true? Is that true?
Get in the mood out at Randolph to take all their money out there, but
I saw
somehow I finished 4 holes before Maya, and then he beat me by 1 stroke. He was the last man. I'm not saying there's nothing crazy going on, but it looks a little suspect because I remember the last time he played Randolph, I think he left because he shot the worst in the club championship or something. And all of a sudden he's shooting, 78.
That's the cons of live scoring, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right. That's true, right? Unknown Golf, guys. Hey, here's a plug for Unknown Golf, guys. That's what FOREBROS Tour uses, Unknown Golf. And what I love about Unknown Golf is that, man, they'll make it however we want. however we want. All right, guys. Okay, so right here, and then we got Chris Jones, who's out in Georgia right now. Have the courses got any better for the increase? Okay, now this is a tricky one because we are going through like an immense drought right now. I mean, we cannot overstate or understate whatever how bad the drought has been here in San Antonio. And honestly, I can say, I say the Fort Sam courses. I mean, man, like I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they broke into one of the pipes on base illegally, and they're funneling water here. I got Robert Vasquez right there, the pro shop manager, is watching the show right here. Maybe he can chime in. They're doing some great things in the condition of that course, because in years past they had, right, Mike, they had so many irrigation issues, right? They had old irrigation. Those courses are coming back to life, and they're doing a great job. I think a lot of courses, you got Fair Oaks, you got Tapatio, you got TPC. They're going cart path only, right, to protect the course. And then you do have the Alamo City Golf Trail courses that use a lot of the recycled water. Northern Hills uses the Trinity Aquifer. Cedar Creek uses the Edwards Aquifer. And then everything else is like, shit water, right, or the recycled water. And I think maybe that's the reason why they're probably looking in the best shape.
Yeah, and we had a FOREBROS outing last week at Northern Hills, and I hadn't played out there in maybe a month or two, but I was even like amazed there. Like they are having some drought issues too, some of the fairways and the erosion and everything. I was like, dang, it's really hitting everywhere. So, hopefully, dude, I thought last week it was beautiful last week. Now we just golfed today. It was like 99. I was like, dang, when's this heat ending? But hopefully we'll get some rain and we're able to not only get that rain, but be able to, the courses are going to do, and I'm sure that they will do what they need to get those fairways and the greens and everything back to what they are for, that fall golf and that spring golf and the winter golf that we look forward to.
So right here, and Daniel makes a great point here, and not waiting for a spot, right? He goes, here you go, Daniel. And that range is hardly packed. Granted, it's not a San Pedro range. I like being able to hit range balls and waiting for a spot. Or not waiting for a spot. And that's the thing too. Like on a Friday night, I went there a couple Fridays ago at San Pedro. It was ridiculous. I mean, just packed. Place was just packed. They had one bartender. They were getting their ass handed to them. I mean, it was amazing, right? It was amazing. It was amazing.
And I think you got to look at San Pedro too, is their audience is not just the everyday golfer that's trying to get better and everything. They're also giving you that environment. You got the bar there, you got the outside, you got the music playing, they want you to come in and have a good time there. So, I've gotten there plenty of times where there's just people that, they're just new to the game, or they're just out there having fun, kind of like Top Golf. And, you got to wait a little while, everything. So you got to look at it too. It's like they're trying to grow their audience or who they're trying to target, and, make everything, for both, best of both worlds for them. I mean, they're a business. They're going to do, and they're going to create that ambience.
Yeah. And like for me, it's like, and again, not to go back to like high school or anything, but it goes back to supply and demand. It's like, they know what they have. They have a good, like a good product. And if the people who are like, aren't really going to complain about that, but then for us that I'm speaking for myself all the time, I'm like, hey, that $4 difference is a big deal, because if I'm trying to go like every day or every other day, it does add up. But for how you said, that everyday golfer that's just like, I can go on whenever I have off or whatever, it's not going to really feel it. But for somebody who kind of goes consistently, maybe might feel it in the wallet a little bit.
So right here, we got pro shop manager Robert Vasquez right here. Closing Loma down at noon every day allows me to offer a tournament style course. I let Mike do the pin placement for the last FOREBROS tournament.
That is a lie.
Oh, dude. Okay, so if you're not familiar, the last FOREBROS tournament we had out at Fort Sam, it was a 2-man scramble, right? It was it was a one-man.
One-man scramble.
It was a one-man scramble. Okay, that's right.
2 shots, right?
Okay, that's right. Hey, 2 shots, 1 hole. Right, 2 shots, 1 hole. And so don't get excited. Don't get excited, Freddy.
Hey.
All right. So you had a 1-man scramble. And for people that aren't familiar with that, because we still had a lot of people asking, what's a 1-man scramble? That's where you take 2 shots. You could take the better of 2 shots, just kind of like a 4-man scramble in any tournaments. Well, they said they were a little dicey, those pin placements, and they were on the borderline of almost illegal, like breaking like these USGA, what is it, pin setup guidelines. So tell me, Mike, you were there.
Yeah. I mean, I may have made a couple TikToks prior to that might have been circulated, but I was ready to get my buy-in back. But no, I mean, it was a good time, and Robert set up the course great. It was just a way to try to limit, so we don't have these 18, 19 unders. And Robert actually didn't think that anyone was going to shoot under par as a two-man team. And I think Sergio won. I think he shot 10 under. But we had plenty of guys that were under par. It was a really good time, but it was a little ridiculous. And moving forward, we won't be letting that certain individual who sets those pin placements be doing that, because we all want to enjoy our round out there. And when you have a one-man scramble, you're out there having fun. You're hitting, they always say that B player is better than the first. So you got a chance to actually see if that was true. But yeah, it was a great time out there.
So right here, guys, I also got some more comments right here as we talk about just, the price increase. And it's not just San Pedro. You have, and luckily enough, the guy who does all of our scheduling, Jeremiah Sierra, he's informing us as being part of the board. Mike and I are part of the board. And so we kind of hear this stuff before it gets to our members. And so, maybe not divulging too much information, but, from several predominant courses that we've frequented in the past, it's kind of depending on, and it's playing a part in our schedule that, Valor Creek is going to be increasing their prices. Alisation's increasing their prices. Landa's increasing their prices. And also their Landa, one thing too, is that, and it's kind of taking care of their own. And you know what? Hey, I have nothing but love for Landa because that course is a public course and it's always kept in great shape. They're not allowing groups outside of New Braunfels until 10 o'clock. And it's staggered tee time. So, we've been spoiled out there at Landa, starting out at shotgun start at 8 a.m. or 8:30. But no, now you have to do staggered tee times and you can't start until 10 o'clock. And so it's kind of like making that almost like that residency, be a huge factor right here. So right here, I got one of my good buddies here, Jeff Beecroft, and this guy's spent so he's been in New York since June. Luckily enough, I ran into him there at Ben's shop the other day. He was talking about this, and I know Mike, being a veteran and a lot of veteran, we are Military City, USA. Currently, only seniors over 62, active duty, retired military get discounts. Veterans do not qualify, is their stance per Alamo membership page. Now, Mike, if you can kind of tell me maybe what's the difference between a retired military and veteran? What is that difference?
Yeah, so a retired military veteran or a retired military person is someone who either did 20 years of service. Some people did do 15 years, and there was a time where they were able to retire early, or they might be medically retired. So basically, they have an ID card, a military or a government ID card that says they're a retired military. And then a veteran is just somebody who served in the military, doesn't matter what branch. Maybe only did 2 years, 4 years, 10 years, 15 years, but didn't retire. So they don't have the same benefits as far as, what a retiree does. But I mean, they're still a veteran. And I think, I remember when they changed that stance, it was either last year, might have been the year before. And I think the whole time it was supposed to only be retirees or active duty, but somewhere in there along, the lines of, maybe it was their education on, when they signed people up, it didn't get enforced as far as they let veterans, not retirees or ID card holders get that military rate. And then they just reinforced it, whatever time. I think it was maybe right after COVID had started. And it always had been on their pricing sheet, retirees, active duty, things like that. They just didn't enforce it, and they didn't start reinforcing it that strictly until I believe it was 2 years ago.
Now, Freddy, you and I are both children of veterans, right? And I know that plays a huge part in our parents and how they and their outings and their extracurricular activities. And so that's kind of like I look at that as, it's not an anti-military stance, but it's kind of like it's head scratching.
Yeah, no, and I was just gonna say that too. I wish we would fall under like the umbrella, right? Like a USAA type of thing, right? But it is what it is, and I totally respect that. Like again, if I didn't serve, why should I get the same grade as somebody who did serve? But if it's immediate family, I think it should kind of somewhat fall into place. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm sure that they did some sort of analysis. Some business person did some sort of analysis and figured out how much money they were either losing or making, and they just made a decision. And you can always try to pick apart, oh, you could always do more, and
Yeah,
this
and
negative sides to things.
and then there's those people, Mike. I mean, you have to know as I guess, right? You're a veteran, right? I mean, are you?
I'm a
veteran?
retiree, military.
Okay. Right. Okay. So retiree military veteran. Some people are just too proud to even, to ask, or but and then a lot of places sometimes you're like, oh, are you are you retired? Are you military?
Hey, that's why I go to Rudy's all the time. They just ask, but they want to give you the discount. I was like, all right, let me get another rib.
Well, it's that cream. It's that cream corn too, though. It's
that cream corn. Yeah, I know you remember.
Yeah, but you're hiding it. You're hiding it.
I know. I forgot all about it.
You waited until everybody was like already done eating, and you're like, hey guys, I got this cream corn.
It didn't discourage.
Hey Andy, but one thing I want to know is like if ROTC counts. I mean, I did serve in ROTC.
What about junior ROTC?
Yeah.
Hey, not even an ROTC. That was junior ROTC. Well, it's like sometimes I have to flash my my SAPD sticker, from when from when the Crime Stoppers when was it McGruff, the crime dog goes by. I'm like, hey, can I get a stack of those stickers?
Every time the SAPD has their barbecue down in the Salta every year, I go there and get that little sticker, put it in the back of my car right there. Just I'm a supporter, man.
Right here. All right. So Daniel, again, right here before we move on. I'm humble about being a veteran, but I also used to be embarrassed by telling people I was a veteran because I was such a huge guy. Nobody would have believed me that I served because I was too fat. Well, I mean, hey, you had you had the stomach stapling, so you know what? I mean, you're good now, right? I mean, you're good now. Okay, one more comment right here. This is Robert Vasquez, Pro Shop Manager out at Fort Sam. It's $10 for a large bucket at Fort Sam. Callaway range balls. Fort Sam Houston golf course will remain $39 military, $45 for civilians. Our rates are affordable for all to play. My job is to reach all golfers of all age, making it affordable with options of rates through the day. Growing the game with making it affordable makes sense to JBSA golf courses to make golf affordable again. And that's great. And that's great. And I think that's what's pulling a lot of guys, because a lot of times, I mean, you know that, Mike, you know that, Freddy, how many times really, like, amongst golf, like just being out in the foursome or being out in the range, being out on the course, does Fort Sam's name really come up? Yeah. It's starting to again. I think it's starting to, right? It's starting to, because I think Brandon and Robert have really kind of started to rebuild that bridge, rebuild that gap that had been created, right? And now it's kind of like, now you're starting to hear it, but you know what? It's not a name that kind of comes up, and I'm not trying to talk shit, Robert. I hope you know that. I got nothing but love for you and Fort Sam, but it's just, I mean, we're being honest, we're being real here, and I think a lot of times, Mike, as you being a member, you know it. You always throw out Fort Sam, you throw out Lackland, you Gateway Hills, you throw out Randolph. I mean, you really, being a military guy, you always throw those courses out.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with, they're starting to use social media more, but once they get their public affairs people to start doing some advertising and some marketing about it, I think it could definitely go a long way. Because I'm sure probably 70% of golfers in San Antonio don't even know you can go there. I mean, there was a comment on, I'm a part of the men's group association at Fort Sam, and a guy was like, hey, I'm from Kerrville, I'm a veteran or a retiree, can I come down and play? And he didn't even know, as a retiree or a veteran.
Yeah.
So
wow.
And I agree, and I'm sure, Freddy, is when you first came up here, and same, it went for me too. Like when someone says, hey, let's go play Fort Sam, and you're like, can I get on
right
base?
Away?
Right? How can I get on? And I'm like, bro, it's I'm over here like
by itself. It's
right?
Yeah.
And so that's something that, and then now that I guess what is it, the GBSA? What is it? What is it?
JBSA joint base.
There you go, joint base, right? And so all you have to do is that apply or speak to one of the pros, speak to anybody in the pro shop, and you got to give them some personal information that they're not going to make public, and to get you a 6-month pass to get on base, to get you on to play Gateway Hills, to play Randolph, and we always talk about that, and I always tell everybody, hey, don't say crap about Randolph, because I mean it's right there, located, right by the runway. You see, jet planes coming, jet.
It's like you're at Top Gun.
Yeah, it's like you're at Miramar. I'm over there. Hey, I've been to Coronado twice. And it's like I felt, I had my bomber jacket and my Kawasaki Ninja and everything, right?
Nice.
Hey, Andy, but sorry, go ahead.
No,
Man.
go for it, brother. Go for it, brother.
No,
It's
no,
your
I
show.
was
It's your
like,
show. Go for it.
Thanks, man. Hey, I was gonna say, but going back to what Mike said, and not to jump ahead, but with Robert Vasquez, how you said about who we follow. But Rob, I like following Rob on TikTok, like Golf with Rob on TikTok, and I saw Mike on there. I was like, hey, I know that guy. Like,
You just saw you didn't see him. You just saw his ass. You saw his ass.
I saw everything not to do.
You just go on there for your shoe game and see what you know.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
No, and you're right. And I think the thing is too is that as we talk about YouTube and influencers, and we're going to get into it here as we're coming up, it's one of the big topics is that I think social media, and I think it's about how you do the social media, because I think a lot of times, I'm not gonna mention the names. Yes, this is nothing as OB, but I have no beef with these people. I don't want to come after them. There's one group on Instagram, excuse me, and starting to be on San Antonio golfers, and they're just like up in your face in regards to some training, golf training.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I think still I've seen the best golf trainers here in town in regards to swing speed. And those are the Mach 3 guys, Jeff Young, Mike out at and Casey Carnes out at Mach 3 at the Secret Workshop. Those guys, I mean, they're just the best. And I say that because I've personally gone to their lab, gone to their studio, and they kicked my ass. That a workout like an 80-year-old man was doing right next to me. He was kicking my ass, right? But he is increasing swing speed as well. So those are the guys I've seen first and foremost that I think those guys are doing it right. Now, I'm not too sure. I mean, hey, Tiger showed everybody right on the PGA Tour. Hey, he was doing the Navy SEAL style training, everything. And then you kind of had that regression, right? Bryson was getting big, getting bulky, and Rory was trying to, Rory even admitted it too. Hey, I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to keep up with everybody. And then now it's all about flexibility, right? Mobility. And it's like different strokes for different folks, but I think it's how you do your social media, right? It's how you do it, not being up on anybody's face and just kind of serving it on a platter. Like here, like if you want it, go for it. If not, it's not for you, right? And I think
but a lot of times they're trying to run a business too. And the thing with social media is your phone and everything's listening to you. So if you talk about something, that next thing you know, a sponsored ad is right there, and it's kind of crazy.
That's why my wife was looking at my phone and she goes, "Man, how come your Instagram, how come your reels is filled with nothing but golf and like chicks in tights and yoga pants?" And food. And I said, I don't know. Those sound like my three most favorite things in the world right there, So right here, guys. All right. So as we talk about golf influencers, YouTube influencers, let's kind of talk about some of the guys who make content, right? And I know one of them, and my good buddy Jesse Martinez, he put it on there. The guys from Bob Does Sports. Like, I love those guys. I love FP, Fat Perez. I love that guy. Like, I mean, man, like he is just a dude. I mean, he's over there doing the Euro step right here, looking like a guy that has no business being out there on the golf course. But that dude is a player. And you know what? He's not really long, but you know what? It always seems like whenever he's matched up with somebody, that dude just makes a clutch putt. He gets up and down. He always rocks the J's. You know what? He looks great in a freaking polo. You know what? I don't even think he's freaking Hispanic, so I don't even know if he should be.
He's not.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm like this. At first, I was like, man, this motherfucker has no business.
He has a great mullet, like
Fat Perez.
He's got a great swing. Who reminds me a lot of him is Brad Ishins in our group.
Brad's a stick, bro.
He's a stick. I mean, and they're big guys, and they make it look effortlessly. And here I am swinging 1,000 miles an hour. My ball's going everywhere, and I'm just like, man.
I'm just a little fat guy. Maybe I could be like little. They call him FP. Maybe I could be like little FP. Like little fat Perez or little FT, little fat Torres. Right there. How about that?
And like for me, like I really don't do YouTube too much. I'm not a big like YouTuber, but again, like I've been hooked on TikTok a lot, and I'm not.
You're a TikToker. You're my TikTok expert.
Yeah. So I again, and I think you've talked about him before, Andy, and you actually saw him live. And it's not really golf lessons, but just like golf advice is what I like, and like Manolo Golf, like I just like him. Like he's got some because he makes it fun. like funny and fun, but he
Smack
gives you
that
some
shit.
pretty decent, yeah.
Don't
They're
be
pretty good, like little
nasty.
lessons. Yeah. So
Oh,
I like
Andy, you
that.
saw
But
him when he came here at San Pedro? How
no,
was
no, no, it
that?
wasn't San Pedro. It was
Oh,
at
Dead solid perfect.
the
DSP.
yeah,
oh,
DSP golf.
how was it?
On Blanco.
Dude, he was freaking hilarious. Like I'm over here thinking, like I'm like, okay, dude. You know
It
what?
was kind of expensive, wasn't it?
It
To
was
get a
$100
ticket?
bucks.
A
It was
hundred
it was,
Yeah,
it
bucks.
was
Yeah,
it was
$100
100 it was
bucks.
$100.
Andy
And
didn't want to take me.
bro, I threw you the Groupon code. You can't say I
Okay,
did it.
okay.
You can't say I did it.
Okay.
And it was great, dude. He was such an entertainer. But like Freddie said, and I'm glad you brought that up, Freddie, because you know what? He wasn't even on the top of the list for influencers for instruction. He was more on the content side.
Yeah.
But you know what? I agree with you there, man, because you know what? They're quick tips, right? And they're
Yeah.
quick. And as funny as he makes them sound, like it's like, hold on, this dude is like he's being like legit. Like this is like a
Yeah.
legit
Yeah.
tip. And plus, he was a great guy. I mean, he was funny as hell. He pulled a guy got a phone call during the freaking clinic, right? A guy got a phone call during the clinic, and he was like, hey babe, no, hey, I gotta let you go, I'm over here at a clinic. And so Manolo's over there like, hey babe, hey, you know what, babe, hey, stop us, come
Yeah.
down here. And
I love
sure
you.
enough, man,
I love you.
he calls somebody who's and you know what, he's over here, hit this shot. And sure enough, Manolo didn't know that the guy he called down there, like he was a scratch golfer. So like this dude was shaping the ball left and right and everything. And he goes, you know what, man, you know what, get back on the phone, dude, don't listen to me, you know. And but he seems like a real genuine guy. And I like the crew because he's out at the Tropicana out there in California. And you know what? That dude who runs it, Jimmy Tropicana, that's his name. He reached out to me on Instagram and he wanted to do something. And I think I didn't know how to respond. And so I kind of waited like a week to respond back to him. And then finally he got back to me and goes, hey bro, I'm really busy at this time. You know, and so I'm like, hey, but in the way, in my eyes, I looked at it like, hey, thanks for getting back to me, you know?
Yeah.
Like I told him, I said, hey bro, I said, I'm like Little Caesar, bro. Little Caesars. Hey, hot and ready, I stay ready, you know? So let me know when you're not busy anymore.
Yeah, see, but for me, like I can't look at lessons or swings because my swing is just, I'm Andy. You make fun of it all the time. I think everybody I play with makes fun of my swing, and no matter how hard I try, I'm not like my discipline isn't there to fix it. So I'm like, what's the point of looking at these videos and doing this kind of stuff if like I'm not really going to do it? Now more is more on the, how you said, on the content side, on the etiquette side, on like everything else.
But your golf but okay, Mike, Freddie's golf etiquette is the worst. I mean, like you give little short funny guys like me, like you give us like a bad rap. I mean,
wow.
Like, bro, because you pout, you get mad. You get mad.
I'm a sore loser.
Hey, I've been there too, man.
I said it to your audience.
But you're white, Mike, so it's okay. We give you a pass. Your forefathers invented this game, so it's okay. All right. So we talk about those guys. You know, we talk about we got guys like Bob Does Sports. You talk about Manolo, and I think I was also looking now, getting into it, and you know what? And again, I don't like to hate on people that are bringing people to the sport, but the foreplay guys, you know, you got Trent, you got Riggs, you got Frankie, you know, like these guys are like getting into golf and like hardcore, right?
Yeah.
And some things like as I've grown up in this game, listening to them, because they're one of the guys that inspired me to start the podcast as well. You know what? That they didn't know a lot about golf. Mm-hmm. They didn't. They weren't like golfers per se. But now that it makes them money, what are they forced to do?
Know the game. They have to and get better. They got to get better.
Yeah, you have to get better. And right, and that's something you always got to kind of look at, that you don't want to be in this game. You don't want to have to. And somebody said it too. And Chris Jones, thank you for saying that, Chris, because I don't know if I was the only one or just being haters. You know, foreplay has gone downhill.
But yeah, I think since they got that new guy on there, I don't think he has the personality. But I look at foreplay. I love foreplay golf because I look at it as like, look, this could be a foursome that I'm playing with. You got Sergio, you got me. You know, you got Maya. You got guys that are good and guys that are really bad, and some in the middle. And you know, you're kind of bickering back and forth, and you bet. You know, it's great. Like when they first came out, they were great, and I would say since I mean, I'm a huge Bob Does Sports guy. I love it because I'm all about having fun on the golf course, whether it's, taking tequila shots or, just, talking smack to everyone in the group or, trying to all gang up on Sergio or whoever we're doing. It's a great time. But I think you know, since Bob Does Sports and you got good golf and all these newer influencers that are a little better at golf, it just it kind of makes foreplay golf kind of look a little boring. And I try to get into, where the Trent's breaking 90 and things like that, but after a while, it's just I just kind of tune out of it.
So okay, so we talk about good, right? Hold on, we got somebody trying to call me. They can't be calling me. Hey, don't be calling me right now.
Probably
all right,
not.
I'm on a show. Oh, it's my wife. All right, okay. So hey guys, podcast is over. All right, all right. So we talk about that, and and then I got EJ, I got Efrain right here saying good is top dog right now. And you know what? Good is they're cool and they're guys that play and it seems like, hey, you know what? Let me put a little bit of each ethnicity here and there, right? So to get a real diverse crowd here to show that we're very diverse. Well, I think they've lost some key guys. They lost Grant. I'm not too sure who the other guy. What is it?
Micah.
The other guy? Yeah, they lost Micah, and I think those were two studs, right? Those were two studs that they lost from the group, and I think. Is Paige sporadic? Is she even kind of? I mean, like I was looking at her the other day, and I'm like, like, okay, after the boobs, okay, and boobs are great. I mean, they're amazing. Like, what is next? Like, what is next for her?
I mean, she is
like, what is next golfer.
For her? I think she was one of the youngest. She turned pro and was like one of the youngest females to win a tournament when she turned pro. She was like 13 or something. And had some anxiety issues, couldn't deal with media and pressure and kind of got out of it. But I mean, she is, to me, I watch her. It's entertaining. I mean, I don't not watch it. I won't turn it off if it's on. But I mean, she's collaborating with, Bob Does Sports, good, all these other influencers.
Well, she's also trying. She's trying to hop on the wave too. She is,
yeah. But I mean, she holds her own. She's a legit golfer.
She is a legit golfer.
Good looking.
And no one's trying to say that she's not a legit golfer. But I'm just what I'm trying to say is it's like, okay, she's done her spiel. Like, so I'm saying for her, like okay, like what's next, right? Like what's next? And you say that the collaboration, and it's great to see all these guys collab. Right.
He's also sponsored by Swag, so.
Oh, damn, daddy. Damn. Okay, so tell me, right? So guys that, they don't know about that swag life. They don't and what is it? Freddy doesn't know. He'll never know, right? If they sell it at TJ Ross or Matt is it TJ Maxx or Ross,
if it's on
he'll know about it.
If it's on Timu,
or what's the other one? Wish, right? Wish.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with swag, Mike? Like, what's the deal? And why are you always swagoo? Why are you always swagged out?
I mean, it's just, I don't know really what it is. I used to collect Scotty Cameron stuff for a long time. And, Scotty Cameron has all these rare putters and head covers. And I kind of got into it that way. And swag is kind of like just a newer age thing,
Great quality.
Yeah, great quality. I mean, I sold all my Scotty Cameron stuff. And I only use swag just because the quality is so good, but it just, it's just something. It's swag put on your bag to look different than somebody else. It's a conversation starter. And I got hooked into it. I got tough box full of it.
You have like the sickest. Are your clubs close? Or are they in your car?
No, they're in the car.
Oh, dude, he has. Have you seen his setup? Mike, send me a picture. Send me a picture of your setup so I can put it here on the show.
Dude, I swear, dude, Mike's like one of the coolest, hippest guys I know in this group. Andy, like I used to like your shoe game, and then I met Mike, and I'm like, Mike, can you please be like a size 8.5? Like, bro, I would love
it. That means you're wearing bigger shoes now. Your foot's grown. So okay, and so right here, Jeremiah Sierra, right here. Okay. If you like to watch those guys and want to experience it in real life, come to FOREBROS and play with board members or any great members. We fight and hug and talk shit all day. And this is really true. It's like going to a party with your tios, right? With your uncles, right? You know it. Hey, the party's not over at midnight. It's not, not over at 1, maybe around 2 a.m. That's when everyone starts throwing chingazos, right, Freddy? But that's when the next day you say like, damn, That was a great party, right?
Yeah, 10-4, 10-4, dude. And I look at it like when I play golf with my cousins, like we do the same thing too. We'll bicker, we'll everything, but then after it's all said and done, we're all good again. And that's what I like about this group is that like, dude, like everybody's like that, not just certain people. I think like most people are getting the hang of things that like, man, like everybody just gets along. Again, like the shit talking is just it's competitive.
It's out of this world. Just say that,
Yeah.
right? It's out of this
Yeah.
world. All right. And so then also looking at the instructors in regards to YouTube instructors, and you know what? Okay, I'm right there with you, Freddie. I look at more YouTube, and I mean maybe not just YouTubers per se. I just say like golf content creators, right? That's what I'm saying.
Right,
Just
yeah.
social media, YouTube, internet, everything, right? Well,
Yeah.
I looked at the top 3 for instructors, right? And the top 3 for instructors was top 1 was Rick Shields.
Rick Shields.
And you know what? And he is, and I don't necessarily look at him as an instructor.
I don't
like I think he's like more of like the review guy, right?
Yeah.
But I love to listen to his voice. He keeps it super real. He doesn't he's not like, you know, I think My Golf Spy used to be the top dog in regards to they held no favorites. Well, now My Golf Spy is another company that's being able to be on the take, to be able to be bought, right?
Yep.
And well, Rick Shields, it's like he has no loyalty to anybody. He loves Mizunos, but he'll play anything or put anything in the bag, and he would give you that real review of the item. And that's one thing I loved about him. Now he's going a little bit more on the podcast side and the show and host. And I like it too, because he keeps it super real. Like, I mean, he talked about his split up with Nike in regards to, hey, I want to do a little bit more on my own and things of that nature. And that makes total sense right here. Chris Jones. He does less instruction now, but he's the review guy. That's where his money's coming in. And yes, Chris, I agree with you, but I'm just saying in regards to doing the search, Rick Shields was the top YouTube golf instructor, right? And the next guy they had was Peter Finch. And I don't know if I'm like, are you just like a cheaper version of Rick Shields? Because I fell in love with Rick Shields first, so he was like our first guy. But he's actually, I'm starting to watch some of his stuff, and I'm like, he's pretty cool too, right? I mean, he's pretty down to earth. He's a little more on the instruction side. And then at the third one, guys that I didn't want to, I really don't like listening to them or don't like watching their stuff is Andy and I think Pierre or Peter, Andy and Peter from Me and My Golf.
Yeah. And it's crazy because all 3 of them are European channels too.
Peers.
And I think it's probably what it is too is like I think they have the top number of subscribers on YouTube or something, because I would never look at maybe the Andy and Pierce, you know, they do give instruction and everything on there.
They're mostly it's all instruction, right?
Yeah. And I've seen their stuff and it's good. But when I look at like YouTube golf instruction, I don't think of Rick Shields or Peter Finch at all. Like to me, I
agree.
To me, I watch, and I don't even really watch TV. I just watch YouTube all the time. But the guys I watch are like Mike Malaska, who is an amazing coach. He coaches a lot of the big pros and everything. Or like Eric Corgorno. He's a instructor down in Jupiter, Florida. Like real instructors, you know, PGA top 50 coaches around the PGA. Like that's when I look at instruction like that. But I also like, I don't know if you've heard of Mr. Short Game.
Oh, dude,
small little videos that are great. I mean,
it's
awesome, and it's more tailored to the average everyday golfer, but also if you're a good golfer too.
No, yes, and they make it simple, and I think those are the best instructors that make it simple. Right here, I got Jesse Martinez right here. I think Danny Mott is a better instructor than all of them. Makes it easier to understand, and I think that's the thing though. And you know what? I've had so many different golf pros on here. It's just it's just about how we all take that instruction, right, Freddie? I mean, you played ball, right? You played ball. It's like what type of coach did you like, Freddie?
One that was on me, man. Like one that was like kind of like wanted me to be the best, so he would put me in those predicaments to where like he'd push me to my limits and knew what I was capable of and would give me and was just honest with me. Like, I mean, that's the type of coach that I've always wanted. Somebody who's just hard on me, but at the same time was giving me fundamentals that were actually gonna improve my game.
Right, the tools, right? Give you the tools and don't make you feel like just such a piece of shit that we know we are, right? That we know we are once we leave the course. And I think that's the thing too. A lot of times is that golfers, who knows? Like if we don't get like at least like I'm not saying I've never worked with an instructor. Ray Garza at On Par Golf, I think he's one of the best people. Robert Vasquez, one of the best people, just from guys that I have personally met, and I've personally had them just work with me and talk to me and not make me feel so down. And one of the big ones that they were talking about that they had on San Antonio Golfers, that lady Elizabeth Burkhalter, right?
Ooh, yeah,
dude. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, right? Oh, I want to see Mr. Short Game and Tourist 101. Y'all might be the same height. Damn, hey. But okay,
that
Chris.
Guy stripe the ball though.
Okay, you know what, Chris? We talk about, you're talking about height here, and maybe that's one reason why at first I didn't like Freddy, but then we became best friends, is because when you have another short guy that's on the other side of you, the pain that they've been through all their life, like the pain that their eyes have seen. And that guy on the other side, that your height, that you're looking eye to eye, is willing to go to the depths, to the end of the earth to make sure that you do not win, and they will do whatever it takes. And so guys like that scare me. Like everybody's taller than me, like taller guys, fat guys, they don't scare me. Like I'm like, everyone's fucking taller than me. You don't scare me. But guys that are my height or shorter than me, damn, like I know that they've been through some things, right? They've been ridiculed.
My dream was just always to be picked first in basketball, but it never happened, man.
Have you seen those leagues? My buddy sends me those leagues. It's the under 6 foot league. It's the under 6 foot league, and they play on the 8 foot rim. Dude, I don't have the knees for it anymore. I don't have the knees for it anymore. All right. So if y'all follow San Antonio Golfers, there was a lady on there that or a gentleman had posted something in regards to that this lady took him for like what was it, like 2,600, right? 2,600
somewhere in there, yeah.
And he posted it everywhere. Like, I mean, I thought I was like this. Oh, I know this guy. He's posting it, and then nothing is OB group. No, he posted at San Antonio Golfers. He posted on Friends in San Antonio. He posted on like the San Antonio buyer trade.
Every group.
And he posted it everywhere. Well, I had the privilege to play a round of golf with her and one of her students. And the first thing, she first impressions are everything, right? First impressions are everything. She came up to my bag, and I was rocking my UTSA bag. And this was, I think, like maybe a year or two ago. She takes my 7-iron out, right? She takes my 7-iron out. She looks at it and she goes, "This looks like the work of Ben Carricker," and slams it back into my bag. And I'm like this, well, first off, you're not going to talk shit about Ben because that's my boo. Yeah. And second off, you're not going to throw my shit back in my bag. If anyone's going to throw shit, I'm going to throw my shit. You ain't going to throw my shit. I'm going to throw my shit. Yeah. And I saw how the way she talked or she spoke to, it was Crumley. I don't know if you know Crumb. You remember Crumley? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bobby Crumley. And the way she spoke to him, freaking ugly and nasty. And I was just like, what am I getting myself into? I have to play a round of golf with these two people. Well, and I'm just like happy-go-lucky, I'm just like, hey, I ain't scared of shit. I mean, like, it's just Crumb, it's just us. Like, we ain't playing for anything. She was very confrontational and very dominant. Like, I mean, man, like Crumb needs that. I said, you know what, Crumb, she's perfect for you. Like, you need this in your life, Well, then she kind of starts saying, she goes, "Hey, you're not playing too well. You're plus 3, through 11 holes, whatever. You game ain't shit, whatever, right?" And I'm like, wow, I know, right? And I'm just like, I'm just again playing loose, whatever, right? There ain't no skin in the game, right? And then she says something to me, and I can't remember exactly what she said, but I said, "Look," she goes, "Oh, you're intimidated by a woman," and I said, "Look, there's only one piece of pussy I answer to. And that's my wife," and I'm like this, like, hey, like, I ain't answering to any others before you, like, she, like, that's how angry she got me. Like, I had to be that ugly back with her because she got me like, and hey, I didn't fight people with fists. I'm fighting with my words. And so I said, that's exactly what I told her. I was like, look, hey, you know what? There's only one piece of pussy I answer to, and that's my wife's. Like, I ain't answering to you. Well, She gets up in my face, like up in my grill. She's up in my grill. She goes, look, if you could listen to me for these next 2 holes and do everything I tell you to do, you know what? I'll let you whatever. I won't give you a hard time, anything. Can you do that? And I said, yes, I could do that. Dude, these next 2 holes were like the 2 greatest holes like I played ever in my entire life. Like she had me. She had me locked in. Like if I had any money, I would have given it all to her.
Yeah.
She was like, I mean, I was playing like I had 2 holes of like the best golf I had ever played in my entire life. I loved her.
And like, okay, now my question to you is it like, was it general knowledge that she gave you, or was it something that was like only a person of her caliber could have given you? I'm just being real.
Andy equals submissive. Hey, okay, Mike. All right, that's Michael Freeman. Mike, I play. I'm like a chameleon golf. All right, you want to be a little bitch and put everything out. I'll put everything out. I said, you want to play gimme golf like Maya and Ostman do? I can play gimme golf too. All right. You want to be a stickler for the rules like Freddy? I'll be a stickler for the rules. I hit from the rocks, whatever, right? Yeah. Hey, my game is like a chameleon. All right, it's chameleon golf. I'm ready.
Yeah, I was actually introduced to her as well from a couple guys who had. This was when she used to work not work at the Hyatt, but she used to teach out of the Hyatt before she taught out at Golf Club of Texas and then Silverhorn. I'm not even for sure where she was at. And I actually kind of had the same situation as far as, she is abrasive with her words, whatever, no filter, and you don't really see it a lot. But to me, I mean, I'm abrasive. I don't know. Like being in the military, it didn't really affect me as much. And, there were things that she said, and once they're pointed out and you actually do them and there's somebody there to say, no, you're not doing this, you think you're doing this, that's what's wrong, do this, and then you're like, oh man, okay, good. And actually I did get ready to take some lessons with her, and I had to get shoulder surgery like a couple weeks after that, and it never went through, and I never kind of reached back out to her. But it is like, she comes off very different than a normal golfer, and she's good. She'll tell you how good she is, all this stuff, blah 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 blah.
I found the pamphlets the other day that she gave me.
Yeah. And but she has a style of how she does things, and Bobby Crumley got better. He was horrible, and then he started.
He was better. Horrible. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, it was a scary.
He was pretty bad.
It was a scary round. It was scared, and like I'm telling you, like she was putting baby in a corner, and I'm telling you, like I'm over here like cussing at this lady. I'm cussing a lady out because like she's like she's intimidating me, and I'm like, I ain't gonna hit this lady. I mean, she looks like she's got more junk than I do. Like, I mean, come on, like she was scaring me right here. Here we go. There you go. B-crap. Jeff, sorry, was away for a second. We talking about that. Yes, we are, Jeff. We are. And I mean, like she's made her way. She's made her rep. I'm not saying my rep is the greatest, but man, everybody, Roberts had to run her off at Fort Sam. She's gotten kicked out of Olympia Hills. Golf Club of Texas is, I don't know if she still frequents over there, but I know that's where Crumley took some pictures of her instruction out there, and then Silverhorn recently. And so it's tough out there. It's tough out there. And the golfing community is a small community. It's a small community.
I don't know a lot of, I mean, if you ask her about any pro or any, club pro around town, everyone's heard of her and her reputation and everything, and I haven't heard a whole lot of great things about it. But I mean, I don't know what to say. I saw the thing and I was like, that's kind of rough. But I could see it too.
Yeah,
whatever happened in the court thing, whatever. But I was like, hey,
well, I think, okay, so Freddie, you asked me, and let's get back to this question. You asked me how her style was, or was it more on the technical side? You know what? She did nothing to my swing. She did absolutely zero. She did zero stuff to my swing, right?
Was it mental?
It was all mental, straight up mental. And I like, dude, I was singing her praises. We had dinner afterwards. I got to know her really well. But you know what? It was still like a crazy situation. And I look back at it now and I said, how did I keep playing 18 holes? How did I go have lunch or dinner with them afterwards? I was like, this was a very toxic situation. And you know what? But for some reason, I just love being in that toxic lifestyle. Like
oh yeah.
See, like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? I just love being about it right here. Okay, here you go right here. Jeff, bro, everyone has the same story. She's not welcome at Silverhorn. And that's unfortunate, right? That's unfortunate right there. All right, guys. So as we continue right here, I mean, we're already we're an hour deep into the show right here, guys. So we talk about the rate increases. We've already talked about the rate increases. We talked about the YouTubers. Is there anybody here local that you like to follow or you like to watch? And, you know, we've already talked about Robert. Is there any local guys here that you like to watch, or is there local golf in this area that just kind of maybe stands out maybe more than the others in regards to the content side?
I mean, for me, I don't really know of a whole lot of other local people that put things on it. Maybe it's just because it hasn't come up on my phone or things like that. But really, I don't even follow Robert because he's a clown.
I don't even.
I can say that because he's my coach, and
because it's you, because you're on the other side of the camera. That's why
I think I should start to get some sort of
royalties,
kickback, royalties. Yeah.
I'm sure he kicks that back. All right.
But yeah, I don't know of a whole lot of other local personalities or local guys that are doing social media stuff. That's just me.
I think, well, there's one of the guys, and he came out to an outing with us. His name's Jay Matthew, and Jay Matthew Golf, and he does a lot of stuff, and it's cool and it's catchy. And I think maybe that's kind of like what I'm kind of searching for here in town too. Is just here we go. There we go.
Hey man,
he's a cool dog.
We're best friends. Man.
He's a cool dog. You know it, and I don't hate him. I don't hate him. It's one of the few chihuahuas that I don't hate. All right, and so I think there's a lot of I'm kind of searching for somebody that can put out some good golf content, because I think a lot of times it's kind of maybe too one-sided, and I think I'm searching. I'm still searching for somebody local that kind of does like the Bob does sports, like good, and I think that's kind of tough when a lot of times we have a lot of people that are really, really tight with the courses here around town, and we're all fighting for tee times, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. The last thing that I wanted to talk about right here, and I'm hoping you thought about this, is what are some of the games you like to play when you're out there on the course? And do you have maybe like a great gambling story, or maybe even a sad gambling story? Freddie.
Go ahead, Mike. Oh, good for you. Okay, go for it. Well, like I said, I'm not too familiarized with any of the games. Seriously, since I started playing with you guys, I started understanding, like, I would hear medals, I would hear dots, I would hear all this stuff. So all I've really known was skins. But again, like little by little, I'm picking up on some little games. I just saw one called Wolf. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're off the show. You're off the show.
Sir, I didn't know. I'm new to the betting game.
It's called a scramble. We were playing a scramble. He hits, and
I want to take mine. But no, man, like that's just my thing. Like, I'm new to the bets, man. I'm new to the different styles of betting.
Okay, so give me. Good night, baby. So give me your best gambling story, because I know you always play, and this is okay. So you have to play sometimes with golfers that are better than you, right? I mean, you have to. Well, Freddy likes to bet his cousins that are worse than him, that he knows that he's already counting. He's already counting. He's already counting the money.
He sounds like Maya.
His pigeons, right? His pigeons, right?
Yeah.
So Freddy, give me maybe your best gambling story, or something that you had maybe high stakes.
Okay, so again, this is several years back when the oil field was good. We used to bet kind of high games, 50-50-50. That it would get intense, and I'll never forget. I'm golfing with some friends of mine, and they have money, and they're playing. It's $1,000. I swear, $1,000 on the line. Not me, but with them, because I couldn't afford that type of stuff. And they end up tying. They end up tying on 18, and it's kind of already getting to that hour till we really can't go play like another 9. And they didn't want to let the bet go. So they take it to bowling, and they want to do bowling next. And they finished off at bowling, but I'm like, dude, like, how intense do you got to be putting? I think that the guy had to make like a 3-foot putt, but because of how much was on the line, like you could seriously see like his wrist and his forearms trembling. Yes, like an everyday normal putt. And I'm just looking at these people, and I'm like, dude, like I shake with like $10 on the line. Like, what makes you think this guy's not shaking with $1,000 on the line? But to me, like I wasn't part of that game specifically, but because I was there, like I said, man, like if that isn't pressure, I don't know what is. I mean, that's just one of my big ones. That because of the amount of money that was on the line.
So is it tougher bowling under pressure or putting under pressure?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't think it is. I think there's a lot more risk. I think there's a lot more, like, at least I'd rather have the putter in my hand standing over a 3-foot putt than having to pick up a 7-10 split. Like, I mean,
yeah.
Come on,
yeah.
Oh, so yeah, 7-10 split would be hard. But,
hey, a 6-9, not so much, right? The 6-9, not so much.
But can I use like one of those little roller things? Or not?
What is it? What are they? The bumpers. All right, Mike.
For me, so I love to play. I'm a degenerate gambler, so I will play anything. I think my favorite thing to play, I love to play Wolf, with like a group of 5. So it's either you against all 4 or 2 against 3. But I mean, I'm kind of known for, it don't matter where we are, if it's an approach shot or a chip or a putt, I'm like dollar, like, dollar closest or whatever. It doesn't matter where it's at. If I'm close to somebody, I'm always trying to bet something on the side. And man, I got some crazy gambling stories. So I used to go to Thailand every year and golf in a golf trip out there. And
are you sure it was just golf? Are you sure it was just golf?
Yeah, right? I mean, it was just golf and cheap fruit. It was great. It was awesome. And but we would get out there, and
YouTube.
Hey man, it's a family friendly podcast here, man.
So when you go out there, $1 is worth like 32 Thai dollars. So you kind of lose track of money, and everyone's drinking out there. And we go out there. There's a group of like 40 guys that go out there for 2 weeks, and we golf, a different course every day, Monday through Friday for 2 weeks, and it's like the mecca of golf in Southeast Asia. Just beautiful courses. It's like $35. You get all the golf, a caddy, everything. But you start to lose track of how much money is on the line, and next thing you know, you're betting like 500 baht or 1,000 baht, which is like $15 or $30 on a shot. You're just like, you got thousands of baht there, and you're just like, you're drinking. Me, I like to kind of have a little fun on the course.
I don't like playing with you because you get you get me to do things I wouldn't normally do.
Aren't you glad that you did them?
All right, so you talk about that, and like, so what maybe was the biggest payout that somebody had to make after these 2 weeks?
So I remember on one time I won. It was like 38,000 baht in one round, which is like a little over like $1,300. And I don't bet for that much ever. And that was pretty crazy. And then I can remember one time I was in Hawaii when I was in the military, and they don't have casinos there. So when you play cards, it's at a home game or whatever. And some guys like, oh, you're a good golfer. You want to go play golf? We have a money game. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. And there was a group of 5 of us, and they're like, we're going to play $5 a stroke. Ooh. And I'm thinking like, okay, if one guy wins, we all owe that guy $5. Well, it was you pay everyone. So if you get a bogey on a hole and everyone gets a par, you just lost, $20, $25. And I lost about $900 in a round of golf. And I was just like, yeah, that hurts. I mean, it hurts. Like, I don't even care what it is. And honestly, it wasn't a lot of money at the time, but it's still, I don't like to lose $4, more or less $900.
Yeah, we know, Mike. We know you don't like to lose $4, right? You got a freaking pro. You got a freaking pro. Robert Vasquez playing on your team, carrying your back. When me and Brad were playing y'all the other day, I mean, like cart versus cart. Like, come on, bro. And you're like, oh, we're all square. We're all square.
Hey, but like, let me ask you a question, Andy, or add Mike. Hey, can you play a round of golf without betting? Like, can you seriously just go out there and do what we do with FOREBROS and not bet?
I bet.
Because
I played at Randolph today with Robert, who I beat. He's gonna be a little sour about that.
Robert,
there was 5 of us in the group. We didn't bet for any money, and it
Robert, you lost.
It was. I mean, it was fun. I guess it's all about who you're playing with. If you can enjoy the round with not playing for money, I can do it. I would probably say that when I golf, it maybe only 10% of the time there's not some sort of money on the line. I agree. Even if it's only for a couple bucks,
Yeah, I agree. There's some dots. There's some maybe $5 Nassau. 5 on the front, 5 on the back, 5 total. Right here, I got a good one right here from Jeff Beecroft. I'm a 12 handicap for betting purposes only. My foursome for the last 12 years, individual bets, 10-20 a hole, unlimited presses, 10-20 front, 20-40 back teams, 5-10 skins. I had an individual bet last year in my group where I gave a guy 15 shots. He pressed me $640 a hole at the 15 tee box. He lost $1,200. And Jeff is the money man. Like, Jeff is the money man. I mean, this guy, Jeff, I know you're watching. So just type in some of the courses you had the privilege to play since you've been out in New York since June. I know one of his buddies stayed up all night to wait out at Bethpage Black.
Back at the black course.
At the black course, right here, another one. So he's talking about Alex at San Pedro lost 600 or so on a putting game in 45 minutes. Okay, and you know what? And I remember hearing this story there at the shop that, you know what, freaking Jeff took Alex's money. Alex is a kid, Jeff. Come on. I mean, like, he's a kid. Right here. Gabriel Gonzalez, shout out from Uvalde. Gabe, my man, need to make a trip out there, man. How's the course looking? Right here. There we go. Okay, Robert Vasquez. The more he drank, the better Mike played. Oh, no.
Hey, I'm a back 9 player. I don't know what to say.
You're back 9 bully.
Back 9 bully.
Yeah.
Back 9 bully.
I need to just start drinking earlier. But I think...
Right here. Andy, you show up to the course late, and instead of warming up, you're walking about setting up bets, and you'll have 10 bets before the first tee.
Yeah.
I'm customer relations, Chris. When you do customer relations, you have to make sure you give a little, right? You give a lot so you can take a little.
It's like make a wish day when you're helping those who need it most.
Yeah, but I think Andy strategizes his bets because he'll bet like he'll make his other bets, and then he'll come bet me and get his money back. So whatever he loses, he comes takes it with me. So
okay.
Stop lies, man. Don't lie, Andy.
All right, no, never, dude. I always count on you. You're my backup plan, bro. You're always my backup plan. All right, guys.
Money I get from my cousins, I give it to you, dude.
There we go. Okay, so my gambling story, and it's not a story of victory. One of the first groups I played with, getting out of my comfort zone, was Nola Asa, and it's a bunch of guys from New Braunfels Paga. Keeker introduced me to the guys, and sometimes I'll play with them whenever I have a Sunday off. And we go and play Riverside, and I play in a 5-some, and I'm playing with like Jerry Mulder, some other guys. They're Alamo City Golf Trail tour guys, right? And we're playing, and they said, hey, we're going to play dots. We're going to play 3-putt snakes. And again, this is years back, right? I never played 3-putt snakes before. Well, I didn't know that, as the game's going on, oh, that's a 3-putt. That's a 3-putt. The way the game worked, and several guys play it differently. Like Mike, some guys play it, and Freddy, I'm not too sure if you're familiar with it. On 3-putt snakes, every time somebody gets a 3-putt, that's kind of like it's $5 snakes. Is that, hey, it's $5 into the cookie, into the pot, whatever, right? Yeah. So the way we played it was whoever the last guy that made a 3-putt had to pay that amount, total amount to every guy in the group. Well, sure enough, we had 6 3-putts that day. I was the last freaking player. I was the last one to get a 3-putt. We played in a 5-some. I had to pay each of these guys $30. And that was not the other money I lost, right? Well, I didn't bring enough cash with me that day. So I took off to go to the ATM to go get the cash. Well, Keeker calls me, hey, bro, where are you? These guys are freaking out. They said they saw you take off. They saw you speed up. And I said, bro, don't worry. I went to the ATM. I'm at the corner store around the corner. I will be back. Don't worry. I'll make good on my bets. After that, I said, you know what? Screw this. I have to get better. I'm never paying this amount again. I mean, I paid it again. I paid it more, but not in snakes right here. So right here, I got Jeff Beecroft right here. Just look, these are the courses he's played since being out in New York. Bethpage Black, Wingfoot, Westchester Country Club, Pound Ridge, Rye Golf. Dude, this is where this dude has been playing.
Nice.
Yes.
Jealous.
I know, man. This guy, freaking jerk. You're a jerk, Jeff. Oh, here. There you go. Okay. Andy, remember when you bet Jake for his pink slip on his car? Oh my gosh, dude. And I told Jake, right? And he's a good buddy. He works out at Oak Hills, right? I mean, he passed his PAT, his level 1. I mean, he hasn't passed the level 2, but he owed me $100 out of Rebecca Creek for a 9. And I told him, I said, bro, I remember. He goes, Andy, all I have is $112 in my bank account. And I said, bro, you're a good buddy of mine, but don't make me whoop your ass over $100. And he goes, Andy, please don't. Please, I'm sorry. And luckily,
Andy, and I said, you're not telling everybody you have to look up at him though.
No. He was in the cart. I was standing. He was in the cart. Okay. So he was in the cart sitting. I was standing. So we were eye to eye. And I said, bro, I'll whip your ass over $100 just to teach you a lesson.
Bro, was this before or after he had his baby?
This is before he had his baby.
Oh god.
Right.
I remember we played some time. I can't remember where he just had his baby. And he lost like $70, $80. And they're like, bro, that's his diaper money. Don't make him pay that diaper money. I was like, he's gotta learn. We'll see. Jake is from the school of the Lee Trevino school. Hey, you don't know what pressure is until you bet for $5 with $2 in your, for $5 a hole with $2 in your pocket. No, you ain't Lee Trevino, bro. Like you're not Lee Trevino.
Yeah. Hey, but like going back to that, like that's one thing like Andy taught me was that, hey, it's the principle behind the bets, man. Like, hey, if you can't make a bet and you can't cover it, don't make it. But even though it's like Andy tell me, hey, Freddy, whatever you want to call me, right? He'll be like, hey, man, even if it's $2, $5, like, hey, just pay me that $5 because it's the principle behind it. So if you don't pay your bet next time, I'm not gonna bet with you because you don't have the money. Yeah. But I
think that's what it comes down to. At the end of the day, I mean, is it just money? You know what? Hey, you lose money, you go work, right? And you make some more, right? I think at the end of the day is just that it's do what you say you're going to do. And it's just, it says a lot about you as a person. And it kind of just like, and again, don't bet more than you can afford to lose. And I think that's what it kind of comes down to. Well, guys, hey, thanks so much for being on the show, guys. Everybody loves you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, I'm talking to Mike. I'm looking up here.
Hey, guns up.
Guns up. No, guys, hey, thanks so much for being on, guys. I really appreciate it. Always a good time to talk. The next time we're going to be on the show, and I'm going to give you a heads up. So stay on the show here. Stay on as I wrap things up. I got a special treat for y'all that I got to ask another favor. I mean, I'm deep in favors with y'all. All right. But I'm asking
I
y'all
love
another
treats.
favor. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What, you love treats? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I love.
Okay, all right. Last story here. Last story. All right. So last story. So we go play at Alisation, right? And Charlie invites me to go play, and with his guys from the Valley. And as soon as we get there and we're on the first tee box, well, one of Charlie's buddies pulls out, has a little flask that says, "Hey guys, we're gonna play a game. Who's in? Whoever doesn't hit the green in regulation has to take a shot of Patron." And I'm like this, fuck. I said, this is what kind of round it's going to be. Oh, okay. You know what? I guess, hey, Charlie invited me. I'm in, right? It's just a friendly round. Well, then Charlie's like this. Then Charlie, hands me a little, something to eat. And he goes, "Hey bro, here, here, and I said, okay. I said, we're going to go down this rabbit hole. Okay. Right. And so again,
I remember
mama might have raised the bitch, but I ain't no hoe. Right. And so I said, you know what? I'm in. I'm just going to do, I'm going to let nature take its
Jesus
course,
take
right?
the wheel.
Yeah. Jesus take the wheel and take the clubs. Right. And so it was a tough round. It was a tough round. I'm not going to go into depths about the round. It was a tough round, but I couldn't feel my hands, and I played the whole round at Alsatian with one golf ball. Like,
Oh, wow.
Like that was just an amazing feat in its own. Right. And I said, you know what? I'm finally starting to sober up by the 18th hole. I said, okay, great. I'm going to be okay. Well, I said, you know what? I'll eat something there at Juliana's because it's a great restaurant. Charlie goes, hey, me and the guys are going to Bombshells. Do you want to go? And I said, no, bro. I said, I'm going to eat something here. I'm going to sober up. And he goes, hey, that's a great idea. Well, I end up going. I said, you know what? I'm going to go into town. I'm going to eat at Dairy Queen and then drive back in. Well, I go to this Mexican restaurant. And next thing you know, I look at the time. I had been there for 4 hours.
Oh.
At the Mexican restaurant. I was at the Mexican restaurant for 4 hours. Right? Like I get there. Just keep it coming.
Keep it coming.
I remember. I think I had an enchilada plate. I had a gordita. I had like some crispy taco, bro. Like I was eating everything in there, right? Everything. And then just to, hey, to top things off, I get a blizzard on the way out. Right. I get a blizzard on the way out. Well, I look at the miles per hour I had on my truck as I get back home. Right. I don't get home till 7 p.m. at night. 7 p.m. at night. I average like close to 35 miles an hour gas wise, coming from my truck from Alsatian back into San Antonio. Nice. So I must have been going like 20 miles an hour on the freaking highway. I was going 20. Hey, I got some great gas mileage. Damn.
Hey, you were like Dumb and Dumber, like put it on the moped and the whole line behind them. Like.
Bro, I was just like, and my wife was just like, "Are you okay?" And I said, she's like, "You were gone at 7 a.m. and you didn't come back till 7 at night." And I said, "I'm full." I was bloated.
I'm gonna go lay down.
I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out.
Guys, thank you.
This is bad.
So all I know is I don't like playing with Freddy. I mean, no, Freddy. I love playing with you, Freddy. Wow. I love playing with you because you don't drink, you don't smoke. Okay. So I love playing with you. All right. Well, you don't drink real drinks. So you only drink Mike's Hard Lemonade or the
hey, they're good. They're refreshing.
Hey, they are. Right. It's a change of pace. Right. Mike, I don't like playing with you because everything's fine. You have too good of a time.
Should love playing with.
I don't like playing with Charlie. Y'all got all the fun stuff. I don't like it. All right, guys. That's Freddy. That's Mike. Thanks so much, guys, for being on the show, guys. Stick around real quick. All right, and I'll be right with y'all, guys. I really want to thank my bros for being on tonight. It's always a great time when they're on the show. And I really appreciate everybody chiming in right here. We had a lot of participation. Thank y'all so much for supporting the podcast. Make sure, guys, you support our FOREBROS. Make sure you come out to an event. We take zero fees for FOREBROS Tour. Never golf alone again. All right. Next event we have is coming out at Comanche Trace. That's right, Comanche Trace Country Club out there in beautiful Kerrville, Texas. All right, please check us out. We're on Unknown Golf, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything. Check us out. And also, please make sure you check out El Cameo Golf Classic. All right, make sure you check out the El Cameo Golf Classic on November 11th at Almost Basin Golf Course here in San Antonio, Texas. For more details, please reach out at El Cameo Ranch on Instagram. That's El Cameo Ranch. You can reach out at 361-815-2303 or email at elcameoranch@yahoo.com. All right, guys, thanks so much for enjoying the show. Please continue to support the podcast. Remember, guys, in the game of life, nothing is OB.